By now, you probably know I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan, and when I saw Wrath of Man, I was extremely surprised because this is a Guy Ritchie film, but it almost doesn't feel like it. It's stylized, heavy, impactful, and I genuinely think it's worth your time. So let's chat about Wrath of Man. The movie combines two elements, a revenge flick and a heist flick, in something that I would call a deconstructed, powerful story about how far a man is willing to go to get retribution. And that's a far word from what the main protagonist, played by Jason Statham, actually does. Guy Ritchie films are known for quick, quippy dialogue, some humor, and stories that are not told in a linear fashion. Take away the funny quips and the quick dialogue, and you have a film that is deconstructed in several stages where a heist is shown from different points of view with the main story intertwined with backstory as to what happened. I do not want to spoil one thing because the storytelling is very clever and very, very well done. In fact, I don't feel that the script has elements that I felt could be redone or could be done better. Guy Ritchie has directed very cool, very unique films, and you can definitely see his style in here, but I haven't seen Guy Ritchie do something like this. From dialogue to soundtrack to the way the movie is shot to the way each camera movement is drawn out, the film feels heavy. And the subject matter, of course, revenge, is definitely explored, but not in this fashion. And I feel that Guy Ritchie does something very powerful with the characters as well as with the story. And though the story is actually quite simple and straightforward, it's told in bits and pieces that makes it very unique. You need to check out the structure of this film on your own to feel the impact of what is happening in this journey, although quite small for the main protagonist. We have seen Jason Statham do different kind of roles: the quick, quippy British guy, the romantic interest, the guy that kicks ass, the unhinged crazy dude. And Jason Statham is so different in this film. He exudes wrath. His movements are calculated and measured, and Guy Ritchie does an amazing job in allowing him to showcase that by different camera movements, by different angles, that I feel this movie does something very unique with the character and with an actor we have seen before. But man, I don't have exactly the way to describe the feeling this movie conveys other than saying it's heavy. The subject matter, of course, it's not unique and it has been done before, and movies that have been the pillar of revenge have definitely seeped into cinema. However, Wrath of Man felt different because it allows the characters, the music, the tone, the editing to create an atmosphere that is just weighing down on you as you see the action and the story unravel in front of you. The deeper the character goes into becoming wrath, the deeper the audience goes into feeling the pressure, the grit and the dirt of what's happening. It's an exciting action film that has a strong emotional component and does seemingly very little to achieve that, but it achieves it so well. The action in this film is heart-stopping, it's adrenaline pounding, but at the same time it's measured. Think of Michael Mann's Heat, where every shot has a meaning, it's precise, but there's a lot of carnage. But at the same time, Guy Ritchie does the right thing to make people look vulnerable. People have to reload. There's injuries. There's people that have definitely an emotional weight to what they're doing. There's supporting characters that are played by very recognizable actors that have actually very little to do. They are there to get a tiny bit of a confusion as to who could be responsible for the atrocities that happened to the main character and where those characters could go. You can see on their face how difficult it is for them to do certain things, and the supporting cast did an amazing job in showing their fear, their hesitation, their doubts about what they're doing, because this is again a movie that's dealing with a very heavy subject matter, and it does it so damn well. It's an entertaining film despite a fairly long run, and I feel that the pace was so well held together that you never feel that there's a slump. There's always something important happening, and there's a changing angles that keeps you engaged regardless of the film showing you the same story from different angles, because you need to understand those angles in order to get a full scope of what happened and what's going to happen. Wrath of Man is an unusual Guy Ritchie film with a fantastic acting display by Jason Statham, even though he has very few lines and does not as much. The story is done in a assemble your own puzzle kind of way, but it conveys a feeling and a sentiment that is heavy and definitely poignant. I also feel that the action is well done. The movie is always engaging and entertaining, despite the pace not being consistently action heavy. The soundtrack is minimalist but very to the point, and ultimately it's a great time. An unusual Guy Ritchie film that you should definitely check out, because this guy has a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of years. I wonder, what is your favorite revenge film and why? I'm Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Thank you for watching.
Finally, heroically, it reaches its goal, and it's absolutely knackered. And it dies.